So let's see what seeds you're planting currently that are going to be reaping beautiful rewards in the future. And let's also talk about what is going through a rapid rebirth in your life, what may have died out that is going to be coming back to life, things like that. And if you guys want to be able to donate today, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wish list in the description box below. Same thing if you want to be able to make a purchase. Just go ahead and send your payment and then throw your question down below and I will answer it in between the collective messages. Thank you guys so much for being here and for all the support you send my way, whether it be through donations, purchases, or liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, super chat stickers, super thanks, the super thanks button, or if it's through leaving timestamps on my other videos. All those things are so appreciated. Anybody who has been supporting my Supermom journey and voting for that, thank you guys for that. You can find that on my community page as well. Hi, Rashima. Nice to see you today. So let's get into this. Who are you? Who am I? What are we doing? So you could be really questioning a lot about yourself at this time. You could be questioning a lot about yourself, about who you are, about what you're doing. You may not understand some of the things that you've done or that you're currently doing. You may feel like some of the things you've done or you're doing have fallen out of alignment with who you are and what you're wanting in life in some sort of way. It's just water in the bucket, just came to mind. Right now, there's a lot of cleansing and releasing that you're doing. You may be releasing a lot of emotions that have been bottled up for a very long time. There are definitely some areas over this last year where you have passed the tests that have been sent your way, where you have been really moving forward, overcoming, growing, learning, accepting things. Maybe even accepting that certain people have been a blessing in the lives of those that you love, even if they have been a curse in your life. There could be some rebirths going on in the area of connections coming back to life again, and really feeling very good. This could have something to do with connections with your own parents or connections with children, or with even those people that look up to you and are kind of thought of as your children, even if they're not your birth children. 22 is on the screen right now. So making peace and really improving your friendships is something that you have learned how to do over the last year. You've learned how to balance things out, how to overcome the obstacles and the challenges you've been facing. There could be a camping trip. This fan, it reminds me of, that's my air conditioning system in the summer. It reaches about 105, 106 at the most here. But inside my trailer, it probably gets about 120, 130. That's my air conditioning system, is a fan. And it's amazing how much it helps sometimes. We spend a lot of the daytime outside, so we don't have to sit in that kind of heat. But there could have been a lot of hardships that you have really had to go through over the last year. Happy Easter, beautiful. The roots of Easter come from Iostre, the goddess of fertility. And it was just kind of thrown into the Christian religion when they created the Christian religion to try to push people who believed in the old ways to believe what they were believing in, basically, to try to get people on that religion going forward. News, gossip, hot tea, extra. So there could definitely be some things that are being exposed, or there could be some things dealing with gossip that you have really had to ignore, or you have had to rise above. You have had to kind of make yourself deaf to a lot of those things And then once you started listening to them again, you may have realized that they didn't bother you so much anymore, because it really doesn't matter, because who you are doesn't change based off of what other people want to say or what other people want to think even. Who you are is who you are regardless. There could be a lot of areas where you've really been looking in the mirror and reflecting on situations, reflecting on yourself, really trying to see deeper into yourself. And you could even be looking at the world around you as a reflection as well, so that you can learn and grow from it. This is really transforming your view of yourself and of the world. Tick tock, tick tock. The clock is ticking. What came to my mind was hickory dickory dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one. The mouse ran down. Hickory dickory dock. So you can feel like time is passing, and it's only a matter of time before things are revealed. And I really do feel like that is a very true statement. Things are being revealed as the time passes things, to not be so upset about things. Because when these things come out, you're going to have to handle them with dignity, with integrity. You're going to have to try to remove your anger about the situations and be in a state of forgiveness. And so I feel like all the things that are getting ready to come out right now, so that there can be new beginnings in your life, are things that you had to become okay with. A lot to be grateful for. Really bad things to happen, but ended up happening and turning really bad things to happen, but ended up happening and turning out a lot better than you thought that they were. So you've also learned how to reduce your anxiety when dealing with certain situations as well, so that you are not stressing yourself out, driving yourself insane, thinking everything and everyone around, when there's really no need, because that puts you through so much more than you had to go through if you would have just been accepting of the situation and allowed it to play out the way that it was going to play out, without feeling like you needed to control it in some way. Because I feel like a lot of us have learned over the last year to release that control even more and to surrender even more. When you feel like you have surrendered. And I feel like you have been practicing, and you are now at a state where you really are not just constantly questioning everything, constantly looking at everything with a side eye, but you're feeling a lot more peaceful, a lot more calm and peaceful about the situations that you have endured as well. Really, a lot more forgiveness has entered your heart for the people that you have dealt with, and a lot more understanding of the pressure, stress, or pain, or the burdens that they may have been going through, and why they may have made the choices that they made in certain situations. Oh, you may have actually got to walk a mile in some people's shoes over the last year, and really got to feel and see what it was like to be in that position. There's definitely something that was blocked off before that's getting ready to open up for you. You're getting ready to celebrate some wins and some victories. Some of you may actually be getting ready to graduate from college or high school. I don't know why I'm thinking high school, but there might actually be somebody here that's that young. Somebody's getting ready to succeed and pass to the next level. A lot of this is because of the love and peace that you have adopted into your heart, and how you have been able to face things with patience and kindness. How you have been able to be giving and generous, even when you felt like you have had nothing to give, you have offered it up. When there's been people around you who have needed something. And because of that, there's a lot of blessings that are getting ready to pour in on you. And there has already been a lot of blessings and a lot of luck in your life in certain areas because of this beautiful demeanor that you have and that you show to the world. Hi, Samya. Nice to see you today, sweetheart. So, let's see what else our guides want to say to us today. I did actually pull out some letters and charms, or letters and zodiac charms for today's reading too. just to add some extra confirmations for you guys and some extra depth of messages here. So we're going to check into those next and see what's going on with the letters and zodiac signs. So we have Sagittarius, Cancer, Libra, charming, Leo. So there could be some secrets going on as well with the people that you love or the people that are around you. The right side of that justice. You have to ensure that you're doing the right thing. You've been trying to act with integrity. You have been trying to be in a very upward state of mobility as well. So you've been moving forward, and you have been leaving behind the grudges, leaving behind the pain, the hurt, the anger in dealing with certain people or situations. Especially when it comes to family or those that you love that have betrayed you in some sort of way. Needed to open my window a bit more before it ends up deciding that it's too hot in here to record. So there could be a lot of things about family as well right now. Things that you're learning, things that you're accepting, things that you're overcoming. There could be some sort of targeting that you have been the target of. Some sort of gang stalking or some sort of just really harsh things that have happened. People may not have liked what you were doing or what you were building. People may have been trying to push you to do something else or to go somewhere else. People may have been very angry with you in some way. This could have something to do with an ex of yours. This could have something to do with a mother. This could have something to do with a child. This could have something to do with a friend or a sibling as well. This could have something to do with the city that you live in or the community that you're a part of too. You have been being guided to dream big and to believe in those dreams. To believe that no matter how many times you are knocked down, you will get up again. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You ain't never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You ain't never gonna keep me down. So it doesn't matter what people do. They're never gonna keep you down. You are always gonna be reborn. You are always going to come back again. I'm not sure if I got it or not, but thank you so much for that, beautiful. I really appreciate you. Thank you. And you're welcome. So, you're a very sensitive person. You guys are very sensitive people. Being a part of the Earth Angel Collective, you are definitely very sensitive people. Intuitive, emotional, beautiful in the way that you see the world and interact with it. You may feel at times that you are alone, but trust me, you are not. There's 3,800 people that are subscribed to my channel. So there is plenty of other people out there that are looking at the world like you are and wanting to make it a better place. And all it takes is our actions every day. I feel like this rebirth has a lot to do with the courage to take those actions too. The courage to be seen, heard, and felt in the world around you. And the courage to take those actions without worrying about whether or not you will have enough. Because you will have enough. You will be provided for on this journey that you're taking. There could definitely be something that is getting ready to be solved, an issue that's getting ready to be balanced out. And what's going to be being highlighted in this situation is your caretaking abilities, your nurturing, loving, beautiful energy that you have given to so many people around you. You are meant to be in the spotlight. You're meant to be seen. You're meant to be heard. You are meant to be known. And you are meant to be known for your kindness, your care, your love, your beauty. So don't let anybody talk you out of being that beautiful person that you are inside, of loving people in the unconditional way that you do, because that's what creates beauty in this world. So let's see what letters we have here too. F, B, posting in your community about some of the injustices that have been going on, or about there has a tendency to share about the problems that others are going through. Z, I'm gonna have to open my other windows. Ooh, bear with me for a second, because it's gonna end up getting way hot in here, and it's gonna end up shutting off my video. Ugh. So, somebody could definitely have been asleep on you for a very long time, or you could have been asleep on yourself in some way for a very long time. J, JZ, D, U, Dusty, S, T, Y. There was actually, what Dusty is making me think of, 44 is on the screen right now, and 55. There was a woman that was living in her car in town, and her and her boyfriend had a lot of mental health issues, and so he didn't work, but she did. She was working at Maverick in town, and God, she worked like the first 32 days without one day off. Not one day off in 32 days. And this is somebody living in their car that can't afford to live anywhere but their car. And she worked 32 days straight. And constantly they were calling her in because they knew she needed the money. And if she wasn't answering her phone, they were actually going to find her in her car to knock on her car windows and get her to come in. To the point that there was a lot of nights there that she was extremely tired. She actually almost got in a car wreck because she was falling asleep on her way back to town one night to go to work. And she ended up calling in. So she had, and you know, if somebody showed up at my fucking house, car or not, I don't care what I'm living in. If somebody showed up at my house because I didn't answer my phone for work, I'd be telling them to shove it up their fucking ass and take their job with it. That is fucking bullshit. That is not okay. If I wanted to come in tonight, I would have answered my phone. And I should be able to answer my phone and tell you no, without you guilt tripping me or emotionally manipulating me or whatever the fuck else. That's not okay. So anyway, she ended up a couple months ago. Oh, it's been about 8 months at this point. It was right before winter. She ended up calling in a couple times in a row, and they fired her. Everything that she put into that place, and they fired her. Right afterwards, they had 2 vehicles. One of them did not run. And they were staying in this park right here that used to be free parking. It actually still has the sign over there. I don't know if you could see it from here, but it still has the sign over there that says free parking. And that was about the time that they called Walgreens to have my trailer removed from behind the store as well. And so I moved over here too. And the day after I moved over here, they put all these signs up that says no parking. Overnight, no overnight parking. And so they had to move their vehicles over to the other parking lot over there. And there's been somebody that's been staying there for about 3.5 years. They ended up, I don't know exactly where they went, but they went somewhere for a couple days. And because their other car was sitting there and wasn't running, it had all their stuff in it, they towed that car. So, you know, there could have definitely been a lot of hardship that you have gone through over the last couple years of your life. It can almost feel like it is never ending. But at this point in time, that is dying out, and there is a new beginning coming in. There's a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, a lot of blessings, and a lot of abundance coming in at this time. There was a lot that you needed to learn during that time period of hardship. But you are ascending to the next level at this point because you have passed the tests that you needed to endure. SLX. Hi, ascending higher. Nice to see you today. H. W. N. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Thank you, beautiful, for the Easter wishes. Q. E. Queen. T. E. Quiet. Quiet quitting. Some of you may actually be deciding to put something to rest that you've been dealing with for a long time. That could have been where that story about Dusty came from too. You could be taking advantage of you, using you, abusing you, and treating you like you were nothing. And you're not going to be doing it because, oh, they're going to be sorry when I'm gone. You're going to miss me when I'm gone. You're not going to be doing it for that reason. You're going to be doing it for you. You're not going to be doing it out of, oh, you'll see my value once I'm gone, and you'll see my worth, and you'll see everything that I did once I'm gone. Instead, you're going to be doing it because this is for me. And I just need to do something else because this isn't healthy for me. This isn't good for me. This isn't going anywhere. This isn't treating me right. And I'm just done dealing with this. M. And that's reminding me of my mom and her boyfriend. Their initials were M&M, so they called themselves the M&Ms. And my ex, his mom and dad were actually M&M too. So they just kind of became the M&Ms. Y-I-P. If you've ever seen How I Met Your Mother, there's an episode called The Case of the Yips. You may be having a case of, you may have been having a case of the yips where you were just really having a hard time saying things. You went to say something and it just wouldn't come out, or the words wouldn't come out right, or you might have been feeling very afraid of saying something or nervous of saying something, maybe even of expressing your desires to certain people, or maybe when it came to asking someone out, or maybe when it came to applying for certain jobs. You may have been feeling very nervous or feeling like you wouldn't be quite good enough, or like people didn't want to hear what you had to say, or something along those lines. And I feel like you are overcoming that at this time, that is dying out, and that there is a new confidence that is filling you. A confidence and a stability, a strength that you have developed through these hardships that you have gone through. So it may be time to be grateful for the things that you have gained through these hardships. Prince is in here too. L. And now I'm thinking of the song, When Doves Cry. When doves cry. Ooh. L-E. Fly. Pretty fly for a white guy. The song White and Nerdy's coming to mind now too. A lot of you may just be laughing at a lot of things more and enjoying life more and just really being able to let things go. Recently, I used to get very upset about some of the things that were being said about me, especially since there was a lot of people that were running around town telling people that I was selling myself, to the point that I, on a day that I really could have used $100, but there was no fucking way. I actually almost made that kid cry because I was like, how do you think your mother, if she was standing here right now, would feel about what you're doing at this current, if your mother was in this position and somebody was doing the same thing to her? How would you feel about that? And he actually almost started crying. I ended up giving him a hug before he left. I doubt he'll be trying that again anytime soon, though. 55. And so this recently, somebody told me about something that she had heard about me. And she was really nervous about bringing it up too. She's like, I just met you, and after I met you, I'm like, there's no way that that could be true, but I don't even know if I should even be telling you about this. And I was like, go ahead, it's okay. And so she's like, I was told that you stabbed your ex in the eye with a fork. I just started laughing. There was really nothing else I could even do at that point. I just started laughing because it's fucking hilarious. It is. And it's like, wow. And even somebody who just met me, there's no way they would believe it. Let alone people who have known me for longer, there's no way they would believe it. So any of the bullshit, any of the drama, any of the chaos, you're just ready to let it all go and to just be okay with it. You're ready to find the humor in it instead of feeling so upset about it or so frustrated or stressed out over it. You're just ready to be at peace with the way things are at this time. P. I agree. Ascending higher. Pathetic. PT. Physical therapy. If somebody's been going to physical therapy for a while now and not really seeing the results or noticing any changes, I feel like that's about ready to dramatically shift, and you're going to start feeling so much better in the near future. You're going to be feeling like you did before you ever had a problem. I feel like some of you might actually be getting involved in Reiki or energetic work of some kind as well. And this is also going to benefit you very greatly. Along with the physical therapy, you're going to be doing mental and emotional therapy with yourself to really heal a lot of those inner wounds. And you're going to notice how much it affects your physical health as well, because it's going to dramatically shift and change your physical health. G, A, The Game. There's a movie called The Game. It's a really fucked up movie. Like a really fucked up movie. This guy has his identity taken away from him. Nobody believes who he is. His license disappeared, all of his credit cards, everything. He had a lot of money. He was a very wealthy man. His parents had died. He only had a brother. That was his only family, and they didn't talk at all. Really, his brother had decided to go the opposite way of him. He spent all of his time and energy building a business for himself and getting everything going for himself, while his brother decided to basically go running around the world and really not taking care of any kind of responsible things. 55 is on the screen right now. This situation that happened to him probably dramatically changed his life. Basically, it was like everyone was out to get him. He was being hunted the whole time. Had no way of proving who he was or getting his life back in any way. He really felt like everything was done and over. And at the end of this movie, he jumps off this building. He jumps off of his building to kill himself. And he ends up landing on a big inflated balloon thing. It turns out his brother had hired a company to do that to him because he felt like he needed a change in his reality and a change in how he viewed the world. He felt like he wasn't happy in his life and he needed something to change his life. L, lame. N, it's a really fucked up movie. I would be really pissed at my brother. J, Z, regardless of what the outcome was. P, pineapple. Pineapples used to be extremely expensive. The only people getting a hold of a pineapple back in the day was royalty, really, because they were extremely expensive. They were thought of as something that represented abundance, some authority. I feel like a lot of you, after all of these tests that you have passed, and after a lot of the old ways of thinking and the old ways of doing and living have fallen away, There's a whole new, brand new day dawning for you with a lot of beauty and abundance, a lot of joy and serenity. A lot of peace is coming your way. You're really going to be effectively transforming the relationships that you have in your life, the friendships you have in your life, the family dynamics that you have in your life are going to be shifting and changing dramatically. I feel like a lot of what you have went through has made you realize even more what is the most important thing to you, where your priorities are, where they should lie. And just all across the board, what's most important to you and what's most important in life. If you were going to die tomorrow, what would you regret about not doing today? One of my favorite poems, it's called Tomorrow by Norma McCarrick, I believe. She wrote it in 1989. And it says something about, if I knew it'd be the last time that I'd see you fall asleep, I would tuck you in more tightly and pray the Lord your soul to keep. If I knew it'd be the last time that I'd hear your voice lifted up in praise, I would tape each word in action and play them back throughout my days. I'd call you back for one more hug and kiss. And I'd say, I'm sorry, thank you, please, or even it's okay. Because if you were gone tomorrow, then I would have nothing to regret about today. So a lot of you are having this new rebirth that is causing you to express yourself more, that is causing you to stop holding those grudges and to reach out to the people that you love. It's causing you to rebuild connections and to find peace and balance within the connections that you have in your life now. It's causing you to want more out of life. Some of you could have actually even had a potential health crisis or scare in some way. Queen Latifah's movie, what is that movie called? I don't remember what it's called right now. But it's a movie that basically she gets told she has some sort of rare disease and she's going to be dying in like 2 weeks or something. And she has spent her whole life restricting what she's allowed to do, what she's allowed to eat, what she's allowed to wear, where she's allowed to go, how much money she's allowed to spend. And she has so much money in savings and in stocks and bonds, but she doesn't ever do anything with any of it because she's saving for the future. What about today? What if there is no future? What if there is no tomorrow? So when she finds out there is no tomorrow, she takes a lot of risks and she ends up building her dream life because of it. It turns out that the diagnosis was wrong and there was something wrong with their machine at the end of it, but she couldn't even be mad about that because everything that she did from the moment of finding out she was going to die in 2 weeks transformed her life completely in such a beautiful way. Because no more was she scared about doing what she wanted to do. No more was she worried about the food that she was putting in her body. No more was she worried about taking a chance or a risk. Instead, she took all those chances, took all those risks, and did everything that she wanted to do so that she wouldn't die without ever having experienced all the things that she wanted to be able to experience and never did because she was worried about tomorrow instead of focusing on today. And so a lot of you, instead of constantly going over the past and constantly ruminating on the future, instead you're going to be living in this moment today and doing the things that you want to do with no fear or worry or doubt getting in the way. My life dolls. There are my life dolls that my kids actually end up getting. They basically kind of look just like you in a way. Janice, Jeanette, your intentions are going to be more pure. Without being littered with that worry, that doubt, that anxiety, the fear, You're not going to be questioning everything so much. And in not questioning everything so much, you're not going to be feeling like you need to do something before others do something. Gay, grandma, lamp. It's like you have had a magic lamp put into your lap. And you're making wishes, and you're making them come true. You're manifesting without that fear, without that worry. You're creating in your life. Lust, placement. You may not be judging yourself so harshly for your desires anymore either. Wanted, dead or alive. It's my life, it's now or never, 'cause I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live my life. I just wanna live while I'm alive. I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu, and I loved deeper, and I swore to keep her, and I took the chances I'd been denying. Someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. And you could have actually even lost some people that you loved very much. There could be a lot of messages coming at you on a regular basis about living your life, about not worrying so much, about not constantly questioning everything. Hippie, gypsy. She was a gypsy, gypsy girl with so much to do, so much to see. Hildegard, uphill battle. It could have been a very uphill battle for you to be able to let go of these things, for you to be able to just breathe and take those steps to create that action. Some of you may actually be getting ready to visit Egypt in the near future as well. Somebody may have been really contemplating, thinking about, and wanting to go see the pyramids in Egypt. Emails. A lasting effect. Pleasantville. In the movie Pleasantville, he really wanted to live in that world because it was such a perfect world. It was so beautiful. It was so amazing. There was never any problems. And everything was exactly the same every day. You never had to question anything. You never had to worry about anything. Him and his sister got sucked into that world. And at first he was enjoying it. But after a certain amount of time, he was no longer enjoying that place. Because a perfect world is not something that would actually be enjoyable to any of us. If there's no problems, if there's no conflicts, if there's no enjoyment, if there's no new, if there's no changes, it gets boring. It gets stagnant. It gets frustrating. And it really turns into your worst nightmare. Instead of being what you thought it would be when it's perfect like that, it's something that's absolutely awful. So a lot of you as well are having a dying out of the way that you used to see the world. Your perception is shifting and changing. A lot of you may have spent a lot of time really wanting everything to be more perfect, more beautiful, more amazing in the world around you, wanting things to not have problems, wanting there to be nothing that changes and just having everything perfect, really, and not seeing the beauty in the chaos around you. but you're really starting to see the beauty in the chaos around you, the rhyme and reason for everything and why it has to happen the way that it does. Without the dark, there would be no light, and vice versa. Without the light, there would be no shadow. Crossing the line, crossing the finish line. I feel like a lot of you are crossing the finish line in a lot of areas of your life at this time. Like we were talking about earlier, graduating or moving to the next level or starting in a new position, job-wise, starting a new relationship. Your life is really taking off at this point. For a long time, you could have been getting a lot of messages like, when are you going to be living your life? When are you going to start living? And you might have been really frustrated with it, like, I'm doing that, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. But you're going to be having an epiphany moment in the near future where you're like, no, I haven't been doing a whole lot of that. But I'm going to start today and I'm going to do a lot of that. I'm going to create those shifts and those changes. I'm going to live my life more fully and do try things. Go new places, eat new food, meet new people. So, 4433 on the screen. These lessons, these obstacles, these challenges, or this school that you spent so much time on, or the time that you spent manifesting is paying off. It's time to celebrate. And you're going to be welcoming in a whole new time period, a time period of celebration, joy. 4455 was just on the clock. Celebration, joy, happiness. It's going to be a massive shift from what it has been into this celebration of life. Instead of this life is a miserable place and this world is a miserable place and the people in it are awful people. Instead, you're really going to be transforming how you feel and how you view everything around you. And you're going to be feeling like this world is a beautiful place and there's so many amazing people in it. And there's so much that I can learn, so much that I can do, so much that I can experience. And I want to experience it today before there is no time left. So a lot of you are going to be making some more impulsive decisions. A lot of you could be people who really think everything through, have to figure out every detail, have to dot every I. And instead of worrying so much about what could happen or what might happen or what isn't happening, you're going to be taking action. And you're really going to just be jumping out there and taking a lot of leaps of faith in life without being able to see the future and being okay with it that way. Jazz hands just came to mind. Some of you could be dancing more as well. Some of you could even be getting ready to take a dance class, duet. Some of you could be getting ready to collaborate with someone else, to work with someone else, to bring something to life that neither one of you could have brought to life on your own with someone else. There could be some of you that are getting ready to come into union in a power couple of some kind as well. This could even be something that has been delayed or you felt like has been very stuck or stagnant. And now it's starting to turn around and the energy in it is shifting and changing. Magazine. Somebody could actually be entering into a contest for some sort of magazine where you're going to end up getting your photo in there and being able to tell your story. And then there's going to be somebody that is going to pick up that story and run with it and want to turn it into a movie or wanting to interview you based on it. Something along those lines. There's a lot of new coming into your life. You've been shown a lot of these things as well. Angels and angelic assistance is definitely very prominent in your life. When you do not see good in this world, you are going to become the good from now on. When you're feeling like the world is a miserable place and it's dark and gray and there's no good in it, you're going to go, wait a second, if there's no good in it, I need to start creating this good. And you're going to look around for something that you can do that's going to make you feel good about yourself and feel good about the world around you. You're going to go someplace where you know you're going to be able to see that there is good in this world. You're going to be looking for it, seeking it out, instead of just deciding it doesn't exist. Puzzle pieces. For some reason, the bar from How I Met Your Mother that they were talking about creating, named Puzzles, just came to mind. They never did create that bar, but you know what? Sometimes not every dream that we have does come into reality. But when we find one that is worth pursuing and we put our all into it, it does come into reality. So I feel like you're also going to be finding things that you feel are worth putting time, effort, and attention into. Things that are worth being committed to, dedicated to. Things that are worth spending that effort on to create and bring to life. And so do your guides. We are all behind you 100%. Never feel like you are alone. Notice and appreciate our presence. We have your back. Your work and your actions are very important for change and to raise the vibrations of the collective. And you know what? There may have been some days where you have been extremely pissed off at your guides, where you've yelled at them, lashed out at them, where you've cried, where you've prayed to them and asked them for help. I feel like you're going to start seeing more and more where they have stepped in your life. You're going to be noticing and appreciating their presence and all they've done. And you're no longer going to be questioning as much whether or not they are really there. But you're going to believe. And in believing, you will be seeing so much more clearly that they're standing right beside you. That's going to bring a lot of balance and blessings into your life as well. Or you're just going to be seeing those blessings more clearly as they come. The year of the ox. 1937, 49, 61, 73, 85, 97, 2009, 21. 2021. So, somebody here could be born in the year of the ox, or you may know somebody that's born in the year of the ox. There could actually have been somebody who has passed away as well that was born in the year of the ox that wants to let you know that they're standing right beside you each and every day. There could actually be somebody who is alive right now as well that could be protecting you, that could be stepping in certain situations or scenarios that you may not even know about. This could be somebody that's extremely stubborn, somebody that's a rebel, somebody that doesn't do things the way that everybody else does them, and somebody that really believes in freedom and independence, really believes in doing things your own way, believes in people staying out of the business of others unless there's something real that needs to be taken care of. So this person actually could be standing in the background too and not really stepping in certain situations as well, because they may feel like there are things that you need to do on your own. But if there's a situation that's a little extra sticky, then they may be stepping in on that front as well. Someone new is coming in for you. Enjoy your life more. Live a little. Take some risks for once. No more hiding from the spotlight. You shine so bright. Never hide that energy. When you shine fully, you will attract someone who shines just as bright as you do. But it requires you to take off every mask, even that last one that guards your vulnerable heart. So a lot of the rebirth that you guys are going through at this time too is a rebirth where you no longer feel like you have to protect and guard yourself at all cost. Where you feel like you can step out and be you, and that you're going to be okay doing that. You're not going to feel like everyone's going to attack you, and even if they do, you're going to feel like you can handle it. Like it isn't going to bother you, like it isn't going to tear you down. You're going to feel like you can express yourself, like you can express your love, like you can express your kindness, like you can express everything within you that maybe you have held back on expressing for a while because you may have been worried about whether or not people were going to take advantage of you, use you, abuse you, hurt you because of seeing your heart and wearing it on your sleeve. You're going to be wearing your heart on your sleeve, and you're going to be knowing that even if it's on your sleeve, it's protected and defended, and that it's okay to be who you are, that you're not weak for the emotions that you have inside of you, that you're not a target for the emotions you have inside of you. You're going to be accepting who you are, and what you want, and you're going to be doing more of it. There also could be certain situations from the past that have closed out that you're finally going to be getting that closure on. Someone you have loved very much in your life may also be getting ready to pass away as well. And you're being asked to know that energy never dies. It just transforms. That this person will still always be with you. It's reminding me of the moment on Lion King right now, where Simba is with Rafiki and he's staring into the water and he's like, "There is your father." And he's like, "That's not my father, that's me. What is wrong with you?" And he's like, "He lives in you." Every person that we have touched that has touched us, once they are gone, they still are there with us. They live within us, in our actions every day, in the way that they affected us or impacted our life. They go on living through us. Love comes easily. Healing comes easily. Everything unfolds naturally. I am not stressed. I am not worried. I am strong. I am stable. I am amazing. My channel is growing. My money is growing. People around me are honest. The lies are all exposed. Truth is seen. Love is felt. Hate falls away. Pain is receding. I don't care about the judgments and opinions of others. The liars will be seen through. Every energy vampire, projector, manipulator gets what's coming, and so do I. I deserve peace. I deserve success. I deserve a vacation free of the BS. I am open. I am vulnerable. I am awake. I am aware. I am courageous, diligent, responsible, reliable, fair, grounded, loyal, and authentic. I remove more masks, and I love each layer that I uncover. This energy spreads, and everyone around me will start doing this as well, including those energy vampires, projectors, and manipulators. As they're able to drop those masks, and as they're able to step more fully into who they are, as they're able to love themselves and heal themselves, that's what raises the vibration of the collective. And a lot of those people that you've dealt with that were like that are watching you at this time, learning from you, growing from you, and leveling up. They are transforming themselves and their energy. And it's all because of you. You are raising the vibrations of the collective around you every single day, in every single way. And it all started at home with you and the actions that you're taking in your life to transform, level up, to shed any masks or any layers that you've hidden behind, to expose your truth, whether it be your light or your shadow, to accept it fully, to love it fully, and to put it all out there for the world to see, is going to allow these people to accept and love themselves fully and put their truth out there, to be able to express what really happened, take accountability and responsibility, and to celebrate when they still have someone there who loves them, because there always will be. To realize that the whole entire world isn't just going to crumble because the true story was seen. and the behind the scenes stuff that's private, that we want to keep so close, that we don't ever want anybody to find out about, is all coming out, we're going to be able to stand in that and say, yes, this is me, and I love me. And I may not be a perfect person, but I'm a real one. And I can love myself regardless of whether or not some of my actions may not have been the best actions that I could have taken in that moment. A change in thought. As I sit and ponder life, my mind is filled with chaos and strife. Taking time to find the peace allows the clamoring thoughts to cease. I see myself in a new light, one that fills me with new fight. Release the old to let new in, or let in new. Thoughts I think are like glue. Negative thinking keeps me stuck in the past. Positive thinking can work pretty fast. Rewiring my mind to think in new ways, filling my inner child with bright new praise. 12/4/19. So, this rebirth that's happening within your lives is causing you to overcome any kind of overthinking, any kind of constant anxiety or fear in dealing with other people, any kind of hero and villain mentality or black and white mentality. It's causing you to be able to let go and to find peace with the way things are right now, and to allow things to come in as they're going to come in, instead of worrying so much about what may be coming in, because it may never even happen in the way that you're imagining it could. And sometimes our imagination can turn things into fucked up, crazy bullshit of the worst variety. And then we spend all of our time stressing, obsessing, worrying, destroying our body and our mind, when we could have been using that energy in so much more productive ways. Health, mentally, emotionally, physically, you're going to be feeling very healthy. And you're going to be feeling very much at peace. There's going to be a nice, calm and stable, grounded energy within you, regardless of what may be going on around you. In the Wheel of Fortune card, that's actually a lot of what it talks about in the original deck, is being able to stay and remain in a peaceful, calm energy with all of the ups and downs of life. And once you get to that state, you're happy, because that happiness is inside of you and not in what's going on in your external world. Throughout each and every hardship that you face. And you're going to start to realize that you're not being attacked in life. That is just life. Life has its problems. Each and every one of us face problems in our lives. And it doesn't matter how much work we do, it's never going to be perfect. Life is never going to be perfect. It's always going to have its ups and downs. But the work we do is so that we can maintain our own energy, even when there is ups and downs. Judgment, the Tower, and the Three of Cups. Yeah, when everything is falling down and falling apart, you're going to be celebrating and enjoying life, enjoying the moment, enjoying your friendships, being able to have some fun. You're going to be finding ways to have fun and to relieve that stress and that pressure during the hardest times. You're no longer going to be feeling like you need to judge others. You're no longer going to be judging yourself. You're going to be letting go of the way that you used to think or the way that you used to handle situations. And you're going to be closing the door on the past situations that have fallen away or fallen apart. And you're going to be walking through new doors. And you're going to be okay with the changes and the transformations that come into your life. You're going to be okay with accepting when things fall apart and having to build up new things. You're going to be accepting of the situations that you find yourself in, where you have had to sacrifice yourself in some sort of way to create new as well. You're going to be okay with those moments where you had to be the karmic lesson that came into somebody's life, where you walked into somebody's life and they shit on you, and then you had to walk out of somebody's life. You're going to be realizing that that happened for a reason, just like anything else did. They came into your life for a reason, and you came into their life for a reason. There was something about those foundations in both of you, or something within both of you, that needed to be learned, that needed to be built upon, that needed to be taken to the next level. And you're going to start accepting that more and more with each day that passes. So we have the Knight of Lockpicks, the Nine of Voices, the Six of Lockpicks, and the Seven of Lockpicks. You definitely are going to be learning, growing, and advancing your skills in certain ways as well. With this new deck, I haven't learned it so fully, so I'm going to go ahead and look up some of these cards as well and see what they have to say in this deck. So, the Suit of Lockpicks, the Knight of Lockpicks, Brynjolf. The Knight of Lockpicks is a guild man through and through. He is upright in his duties, and his aid is reliable. Know that you can trust him with any matter, though he may never rise to power. So, a lot of you may be coming to terms with yourself or with others around you that are trustworthy, reliable, stable, amazing in their own ways. Even if they never rise to power, even if you never rise to power, you will be recognized as someone that people can trust, someone that people can go to, someone that will be there for others. There may even be somebody in your life as well that you may be looking at, that maybe you have had judgment over in the past in some way, feeling like maybe they weren't going to be good enough, or the song No Scrubs is coming to mind right now. The scrub is the kind of guy that can't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. It doesn't matter if somebody has money. There's a lot of people in a relationship with somebody who has no money, who has no success. With somebody that is never going to have anything or build anything. But some of those people are the best people you will ever find. Just like some are some of the most evil, awful people you'll ever find. Just because you're good doesn't mean you automatically have money. And just because you're evil doesn't mean you automatically don't. Look at Scrooge. So it may be time to modify some of the ways that you've been looking at things. And that could be a lot of what this rebirth is about in your life currently too. Is modifying the way that you look at situations, or the way that you look at people, the way that you judge them. And whether or not that judgment is actually true, or if it's just a preconceived notion that others have filled your head with. Is it something that you actually believe in, or is it something that was placed there by another? So, the Six of Lockpicks. Your hard work shall be justly rewarded, as will the hard work of your allies. Look forward to sharing in great fortune with your companions. Whatever abundance you gain or reap from the seeds that you have sown, do not turn greedy in that. Do not decide to start hoarding it. Do not decide that these people have not put in work, so they don't deserve to reap any rewards or benefits from what I'm working on. If these have been your people and they have been there for you through your darkest times, they do deserve that abundance with you. There are some people in your life that may never achieve anything, but they may have been there with you every step of the way that you were looking to achieve something in your life. Don't let achieving something turn you cold. Don't let it change who you are at heart. So, the 7 of lockpicks. Remember what you started this journey for. One of the biggest things that I started my journey for was to be able to create a safe, stable household for my children, to be able to give my mom a house that she doesn't ever have to worry about being taken away from her. Regardless of some of the things that have happened between us over the last couple years, I would still like to be able to do that. And there have been some people that most people would consider the dregs of society. Disgusting people that don't ever deserve anything, that should be locked up forever, that have been there with me in my darkest moments, that have been the kindest human fucking beings that I've ever met, that do deserve to have a place that they can go home to at night that is heated or cooled. They deserve to be able to eat daily without having to worry about where their next meal is going to come from. They deserve more than just living in a broken car in a parking lot, or having really nowhere to call home, or no one to show their love and care for them, because they've been there on a regular basis to show love and care for other people. Some of them have just given up the hope that this world is a good place, or that they're ever going to have anything in life, or that there's anyone who even cares. They do deserve that abundance too. They deserve to be cared for, to be loved, and to be treated like they're human beings. There was a tiny home village that somebody was building in Las Vegas recently because of all the homeless people living there. A lot of them live in the sewer system in Vegas at this point. It's becoming like Russia around here more and more every day, because that's how it started out in Russia, people living in their sewage system. This person took their own money to buy this land and to start building this tiny home village. He already had 3 families living there, and he was working on the 4th home when they got a notice from the city that they were not allowed to build that there because they didn't have all the requirements for zoning taken care of or some bullshit. And so they had to go to court and they had to address this issue. They told that the families that were living there had to move out. And it also be done with the houses until after the court and everything. A couple days later, they came and bulldozed those houses. Somebody took their own money, put in the time and the effort, the care and the love to solve the problem that they have with the homeless people down there. Because, oh, we can't actually have a solution to that problem. We're going to destroy that too. They finally felt like there was hope. And somebody cared, like somebody loved them, and somebody was going to do something about it. And they just did that too. How much more can people take from people like that? From people in that position? How much more are people going to stand by and turn the other cheek to instead of standing up and telling people what they feel is right in those situations? How many more times are people going to call and report people for living in their vehicle? And how many more times are people going to take action make sure it's not happening so it doesn't bother the people who have money and don't even know what it's like to walk in those shoes. Anybody could end up in that position at any time. People's houses could burn down tomorrow, and then they'd be stuck living in that same position. And I'm sure they'd hope that somebody would help them. But were they there to help others when they were in that position themselves? Anyway, the 7 of lockpicks. Your trusty lockpicks have failed during the most critical heist. Your latest enterprise will come to a halt. Expect a loss in fortune and disappointment in a current endeavor. So there could be certain situations that are closing out for you at this time. But do not allow that to make you believe that there will not be anything good coming in for the work that you have put in. Do not allow that to stop you from working on your next goal or your next achievement. Because just because one thing does not work out right does not mean that other things won't. It may be time to create shifts and changes. It may be time to do something differently. And it may be time to change up whatever it is that you've been working on. And that's why the towers fall down a lot of time. Towers fall down in those moments so that we can build something new. Don't allow it to still hope that you have in your heart. Because that's what a lot of those people have done. They just decided, screw it, this is all I'm ever going to be, this is all I'm ever going to be able to achieve, and I'm never going to be able to do anything, so I'm just going to sit here. But sometimes when you walk into those people's lives and you do just one kind deed, it can change their entire fucking life and their entire world. And maybe you were put there at that moment and given that nudge to do something. Not for any other reason other than do something too. It would push this person to have hope again, belief again, and inspire them to take action again. Your wishes shall be granted, and rewards shall be plentiful. Whether you seek a Daedric artifact or a work promotion, your greatest desires will become yours. But these greatest desires will become yours by what is falling out of your life now, what is ending, what is coming to a close, and the new doors that you are walking through. So do not judge yourself. There's a lot of people, 1222 I just noticed in the chat there. There's a lot of people that give up when something doesn't work out or when plans go awry. Do not give up. Because it could be that very next step that you take that transforms everything. That brings in that shift and that change that is necessary to create beauty and abundance in your life and the world around you. You will have that. But right now, it's time to not fear the changes that are coming in. It may not look exactly like what you were planning to begin with, but it's exactly what is meant to happen. 733. It's a divinely guided path, and it's exactly what was meant to happen. And you're going and heading in the direction that you were meant to be going in. So, I'm probably going to be on here for about 15 to 20 more minutes. If you guys wanted to be able to purchase or make a donation, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, and Amazon in the description box below. If you get it in there before I go, I will answer your questions. Today's special, it's $5.99 for one question and $9.99 for two questions. So, Eagle. I just noticed Eagle was in here too. Miami, Plaza, Palladians. You could be getting very involved in star seeds as well. Also, Palladians came here to raise the vibrations and to create changes within this planet to help us ascend to the next level. And also to help remove any parasitic energy as well. putty. It's like putty in your hands. Somebody around you could actually be like putty in your hands. And maybe in the past, this is somebody that was very hard and unyielding, somebody that was really hard to get through to, or somebody that was very stoic, who had a hard time sharing, or who had a hard time opening up. But this person is really ready to open up, is really ready to be more soft, be more open, be more inviting, is really ready to take things to that next level. You have made somebody trust and believe. Where in the past, they may have been somebody extremely closed off. They could have been very hurt. They could have been very down, very out. They could have been really feeling like nobody or nothing in this world cares. And you have opened them up to life again, to light again, to believing again, to having hope again. And that is a lot of where your abundance and luck is going to be coming from too. There's going to be a lot of good coming into you at this time. My angelic life. Butterfinger BBs just came into mind for some reason. In the old commercials they used to have from The Simpsons. I don't know why, but... Danger. Danger, Will Robinson! I have never watched whatever that is, but I've heard it a lot of times. A lasting impact. Lifeline. You've been a lifeline for someone. You have kept somebody alive on this earth. Somebody that was at the end of their rope. Somebody that had finally had enough. Was ready to call it quits. Was ready to surrender and just be fucking done with this place and everything in it. And when you stepped into their life, that's how big of an impact you made on their world. Even if it was just some kind words that you spoke. A kind gesture that you made. Something that you did has transformed things that much for somebody around you. Has caused them to believe again and have hope again. Has caused them to decide that suicide is not the way. Somebody was ready to be done with life and ready to throw in the towel. But you were there in that moment. And because of that, the blessings that are raining down on you at this time are very deserved. Be open and receptive to them coming in. Do not deny them. Do not walk away from them. Do not question them and be afraid of whatever's coming into your life at this time, because whatever is coming into your life at this time is a part of that. So open up your heart, open up your mind, open up your hands, and know that they will be filled as you are walking through your day. They didn't have to waste their energy every time you cried. I feel like this person would want you to cry if you wanted to cry. It doesn't cost anybody anything to allow somebody to express their emotions. There's a lot of... Okay, so when it comes to me and my energy, carrying other people's emotions on my shoulders, it's not that they're necessarily draining my energy, it's that I'm carrying it around with me. 111 is on the license plate next door. I'm going to pull some messages for you. A powerful change in this world starts with you today. It is time to let go of the past, not the people or the love, but the pain and the hurt. Life is what we make it. Focus on the love. You know better than to allow abuse at this point, and others know better than to target you. Some have even realized their actions and truly atone for them with a change in their behavior. For an apology that big, walk is the only thing that will work for you. But they also need to communicate. Their apology needs to be as loud as their betrayal and the cover-up was. It's time for some people to face the music. Free will on if they choose to do it willingly or will the universe do it for them. Some have feel some have healed enough already. Some never will, and others have to learn the hard way. Nothing wrong with that. It just takes patience. Better late than never. I don't know why that makes me feel like this person may not have been being very truthful with you when you were dealing with them. Nothing that you do or say will faze me. My level up is so on key. Self-love is taking place. With it, nothing is too hard to face. On top of the world is where I'm at. No time to dwell on a dirty rat. Closing cycles left and right. Nothing is ever out of sight. You can't stop me. Can't you see? Focus on you and set yourself free. There's no more time for a busy bee. Keep your eyes on your own lane. I am now the one that's sane. You never had the power to take me out. My faith was strong, never a doubt. The divine beings at my side. You're not welcome on this ride. 2/2/22. Every emotion that you feel is a part of you. Love those emotions. Love yourself. And do not let anybody tell you that your tears should not be cried. Crying those tears is a way of cleansing, is a way of releasing, is a way of letting go. It allows you to free yourself of the emotions and energies that are within you so they do not overwhelm you and take over. When you don't cry your tears, a lot of times it turns into anger and hatred. Wow. That sounds, I don't know, I don't like that at all. The Fool, the Ace of Coins, the Six of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. You're on a journey right now away from a lot of tumultuous waters and tumultuous times. A lot of painful experiences you're leaving behind. And there's a lot of opportunities in front of you. I feel like your friend wants you to take a leap of faith. Fly. So that you can believe that there's luck and abundance coming in towards you and a lot of opportunities as well. There could have been a lot of shallowness experienced with a lot of the connections that you've had, where people were afraid to go deeper or to experience the full depth and... But you're moving away from this energy yourself, and that is what's going to be bringing a lot of abundance into your life. It's also going to allow you the chance to respect, care for, nurture, and love yourself in ways that you haven't before. I'm going to see what your friend felt about when you cried. That's what I'm going to look into right now. The Ace of Scythes. The Ace of Chalices. And the Four of Wands. Your friend felt like you were home to them. And when you cried and showed the truth of your emotions and shared with them the secrets you had within, they knew that you felt like they were home to you too. That it was an equal give and take. That you loved yourself and that you loved them. This friend loved you so much. And every second of time that they spent with you felt like home to them. Sometimes they may have had a lot on their plate, and so they couldn't offer the shoulder as easily in those times. But they always cared, and they always loved that you would show that vulnerable part of yourself to them. The truth of that matter is that they felt that you were exceptionally rare in their life as a friend. That you were somebody that would always be honest with them. You were somebody that loved them very fully and made them feel like they were valuable in this world. They felt like you were extremely stable as well, especially when it came to your passions. And they feel like the reason why is because you were able to express your emotions when they came up. This actually inspired them to be able to do the same as well. They felt like you were very pure in your intentions, and they never once saw you as any kind of energetic vampire in any way. They saw you as somebody who was honest and truthfully their friend, their home, their family. And they would be there for you again any day in a heartbeat. And they are there for you every time that you're feeling that way now, because they love you. They really do hope that you continue to care for yourself again. You may have stopped caring for yourself in some of the ways that you used to make sure to really take care of you. They really want you to start putting that time, energy, and effort into you again. Because the truth is, they want to see you feeling strong and stable again. Because you were always their rock as much as they were yours. Hi, ML. Nice to see you today. Thank you, beautiful. Happy Easter to you, too. Wow, there was a lot of energy in that. You're very welcome, sweetheart. I sure hope you know how much that person loves you, because holy shit. There's so much love, and there was so much sadness in that message too, because she does not want you to think that in any way. She doesn't want you to hurt anymore, because she doesn't feel like you deserve that. Study is needed. In order to continue to expand your mind, you need to keep it going. Learning never truly stops, at least not if it isn't blocked by thinking you know it all. Ego can get in the way with your talents and your brains. Don't let it. Or sometimes you just feel really burnt out and sick of learning more and growing more, especially if you feel like it's really not doing anything anyway or helping in any way, but it really is, more so than you think it is. So remember to expand your mind and your consciousness in all the ways that you can, to take time out for study, for learning, for growth, and to never get into that self-righteous energy of feeling like you know everything. Flawless by Tyla Jane. Great song. I'm human. I'm not some saint. I'm using my human gifts to help other humans with their own gifts. No one is perfect, but all are originally divine. I am no better than anyone else, just different. My differences make me beautiful, but so do theirs. We are each beautiful in our own ways. If I strive to see the beauty in all things, that means all people, too, as well as all creatures. Every life has a purpose to it. I was talking to the defense attorney for the person that I'm seeing at this moment the other day, and I mentioned something to him about how he's been doing for the last couple months. And I realized there's a lot of people, because one of the bondsmen I talked to actually said something pretty fucked up, honestly, and about him not having a wife or not having kids, and he's been doing this for years anyway, so why would I back that up? Because it's not like he's going to suddenly change at this point. But I was talking to him about that, and I was like, he's been doing really good the last couple months, better than he has been in a long time, according to a lot of people who know him. And I believe that anyone at any time can change, can decide that they want to do things a different way, can learn new things, can understand things in a new way, and can really shift and change their world. And it's because of that belief that so many people have been able to do that around me. So I refuse to give up that belief. And I do believe in him to be able to turn things around in his life. That particular defense attorney really does seem to actually care. And he really does seem like he actually wants to go to bat. Now, the one in Payette, he hasn't even been able to get a hold of that person or contact that person or anything else. It took forever for them to even provide him one. The really sad part, he wouldn't be in as dire of straits as he is if it wasn't for the fact that when he ended up in trouble the first time, he wasn't making very much money, but they decided he made too much money to be able to have an attorney, so he had to quit his job in order to even have an attorney. So he didn't have the money to pay all the fines that he has or anything like that. And so when he missed court that day by a couple minutes because he was on there waiting for it, he really wasn't looking forward to going down and turning himself in the next day. That would be extremely excruciatingly hard for anybody. And actually, everybody I've talked to since then is like, do you know how hard that would be to do that? I did tell him you should go turn yourself in because it will go much easier if you do. They probably would have had him stay overnight, released him the next day, set up a new court date, all that kind of stuff. And instead, he was worried about needing to be out so that he could work, so that he could get the money to pay off the bondsman he already paid from last time. And so that he would have any of the money he needs for any fees that he has going on with it. And he was also worried about them putting him in there and then not letting him back out again. And so he got picked up about 2 months ago at this point. And he's been sitting there ever since, waiting for them to get their shit together, basically, is about the gist of it. They can't wait on him to get his shit together, but he's supposed to wait on them to get their shit together. Anyway, he did get, when he went to court this last week, his bond was reduced, so he only has to pay $500 to get out of there. And if that would have happened 2 months ago, we would have had the money to be able to deal with that. But we don't, so he's still stuck in there. And until he gets out of there, he can't take care of anything going on in Payette either. Although he's trying to. Anyway, there's a lot going on over here right now. But back to this message. I am human. I am not some saint. I'm using my human gifts to help other humans with their own gifts. Some of the people that I have met over the last couple of years have an extremely hard time with the gifts that they have, especially if they've never been taught how to use them, or if they're extremely strong. Some of them, that's the reason why they spend all day in a bottle or all day with drugs in their system, is because it's a lot for them to be able to handle. It's a lot for them to be able to deal with, and they just want it to go away. Some of them see their gifts as a curse. And as more and more of them are brought to the light and see their gifts as a blessing and start to use them in that way and start to accept them and accept themselves and love themselves, heal themselves, it's amazing how that spreads. Those high vibrational energies that you have inside of you. Energy is limitless. It's limitless. There's more and more and more and more and more where it comes from. As you extend your kindness and your love to the world around you, that does not deplete you. It raises the world around you up to create more of that light energy around you. And then that lower vibrational energy starts to dwindle out and dwindle down in a lot of areas, to where that's not affecting you so much either anymore. So don't ever believe, no matter what position you're in life at this moment, that you're not worthy, that you're not valuable, that you don't make an impact. Because some of the people that are in the lowest position there is to be in life can make the biggest impacts of anyone. There is a lot of homeless people that have made a very big impact in my life. I've made a very big impact in a lot of people's lives with nothing to my name. Where to go. But I'm here every day to bring a light to this world, just like a lot of those people are. That particular person who is in jail right now, there may have been some fucked up things that he did. Yeah, there was. And he has every intention of expressing some of those things when he gets out of there. But there were some amazing things that he did too. When I was at the end of my rope this winter at one point, and just mired in a lot of darkness and despair for a minute, I was praying and I was like, you know what? I realize that you're all here all the time and that I'm never alone. I get it. But I need somebody here in the physical world. I need somebody to show that they fucking care, that they love me, that I'm not fucking alone. And do you know who got that guy did? And the other guy that may end up in some serious trouble here in the near future too. Seems like a lot of the people that help me around here end up in a lot of for 3 days. He was there pretty much the entire time. And the other guy was messaging me and calling me on a regular basis for those 3 days to make sure I was okay and doing good. Those were the two that my divine mother and father decided to call upon to be there in that darkness. Two that most people would probably look at and go, oh, they're filled with darkness. I don't want to be around them. Especially considering some of the things they did use their gifts for when I first ran into them. But inspiring that change is what all of us are here for. And it's amazing what a light those people can be. Because the brighter our light is, the darker our shadow is. And the darker our shadow is, the brighter our light is when it's turned on. They are equal to each other. We have both within us at an equal level. I am freeing myself more every day in so many ways. I don't worry so much about the ones that I have not started yet. Affirmations can help so much. When you start getting hard on yourself, start to think of all the ways that you are doing good. You are an amazing person in so many ways. Take your power back. Don't seek validation from outside of yourself for all that you are inside. See those beautiful things and don't let anybody make you feel like you need their approval of who you are. Just be you, the amazing you that your higher self wants you to see. Other people can make you feel fearful of doing some of the things that could be the most beautiful things you've ever done in your life. Don't allow that to happen. 44:22 on the clock. Balance yourself and celebrate your wins. Celebrate your successes. Celebrate how strong your foundation is at this point. Just noticed 44:33 too. Anyway, it really is sad to think that there are people who spend $500 on a meal. And that is literally all it would take to have the person I love at home with me tonight. And at the same time, things are the way that they are in this moment for a reason. And I'm not going to stress myself out, and I'm not going to destroy my mental, physical, or emotional health by constantly fretting over it. So, surrendering and allowing things to play out the way that they're going to play out is how I'm handling the current situation in my life. And that's where a lot of that rebirth is going to be coming in a lot of your lives, is in being able to let go and not having to overthink everything to such a high extent. And also in seeing the beauty and even some of the darkest spaces around you at this time, in the darkest places or in the darkest moments. Being able to look around you for that star in the night sky that will guide you back to the light. Not allowing your hope to dwindle out completely. You deserve so much better than what you are dealing with right now. It's time to love yourself and set some boundaries. To cut off some connections with extremely disrespectful people. To eat right, sleep, and focus on your goals. And yeah, there are times that I have cut off those connections. There are times that those connections have rekindled too. When it comes to setting boundaries in that way, that's what teaches people around you what is right and what is wrong and what is okay and what isn't. Sometimes people have never really learned that either. Don't settle for something so bottom of the barrel. You are really worth far more than you give yourself credit for. Your dreams are not impossible. Your wishes aren't just impossible fantasies. You have them for a reason. Believe it and achieve it. Don't let others dictate your actions, and don't blame them if you don't take action. So, do not allow anything in your life to hold you back or keep you stuck and stagnant. It doesn't matter what is going on outside of you or how many things seem to be falling apart for the people around you. Sometimes you do need to set that aside, because you can take care of everyone around you much better when you take care of yourself. It doesn't make you selfish to do that. It makes you self-loving and self-respecting to do that. You may also be noticing in this rebirth as well that a lot of the situations in the past that you did have to cut off or walk away from, or situations where they left, happened to bring you to where you are today. That rejection really was protection. Whether it be you rejecting someone or them rejecting you, it was protection for yourself and for the other party. It was divinely guided. And it was what was meant to happen. Taking action to fight for what you believe in. Taking actions to heal the heartbreaks from the losses that you've had. Someone here actually could have even walked in on or found someone that they love when they had passed away. Or you could have had to experience a wake where you actually had to see the body of someone you loved. The death of situations that you loved. The passing of those situations. It's time to really look at those things from a different perspective, to understand why situations were delayed or why situations had to end. It's time to take action now to cleanse, to release, to free yourself of that pain, that hurt, and that sorrow of the past. It's also time to understand that those extremes that have happened in your life, the ups and downs, the ins and outs, happened for a reason. To be patient with yourself and to be patient with others. And to know that that patience and persistence will pay off. The learning and growth that you have put in is something that is going to bring a lot of abundance and fertility into your life. But a lot of what is holding that back for people is holding on to that pain and that grief when we should be letting go and moving forward. So, that is the message that we have for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I really enjoyed being here and bringing it to you. There were some pretty emotional moments in today's reading. Thank you guys so much for whatever support, judgment. There's going to be exposure coming in this rebirth as well, too. Once again, with that abuses of power. The abuses of power are going to be being seen, exposed, and there's going to be a penny for your thoughts. If I Die Young is the song that's coming to mind right now. There's going to be justice in situations that you've been justice for. But it's time to stop waiting and to just start acting. It may even be time to start communicating the truths that you know and the proof that you have in certain situations as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for whatever support you send my way, whether that be liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, leaving timestamps on my other readings, leaving donations, purchasing services, each and everything that you guys do for my channel and my work. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. And I really hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.